Hi, I'm Paul Gertz, and I'll be doing an analysis of Renewable Energy Group, or REG. Their founder and CEO is Daniel J.O., and they were founded in 1996. REG is currently the largest producer of renewable energy, or of biodiesels, in the United States, and in 2010, their sales represented 22% of all biodiesel sales in the U.S. Renewable Energy Group currently has 6 facilities. 4 of those were recently acquired in February or after February of 2010. Their vision for the future is to expand it more in the U.S. and move to other countries to grow their presence internationally and on a global scale. Uh, there's something called the RFS, which is the Renewable Fuel Standard. It requires that a certain percentage of all diesel fuels that are consumed in the United States to be renewable. So in July of 2010, the Renewable Fuel Standard 2 was made effective, and that required that in 2011, 800 million gallons of all diesel fuels must be biodiesel, and every year after 2011, 1 billion gallons of all diesel fuels must be biodiesel. So their product line is biodiesels, as you could have picked up from before. This is Biodiesels are fuels that are made from unusable or inedible food waste that is consists of animal fat, used cooking oil, so like fryer grease, and just vegetable oil that's left over, and inedible corn oil. REG is always trying to improve their production methods to make refining biodiesels as effective and efficient as possible. Rather than just using one type of feedstock, they use multiple different types to try and lower costs and to utilize as many resources as possible. Biodiesels can be used as a replacement for diesel. It'll burn cleaner and pollute less as long as there's food waste, there can be biodiesel. Their current product, the REG 9000, is their newest and highest quality biodiesel that they can produce at a reasonable cost. There's a standard called the ASTM D6751. It pretty much just states the minimum quality standards for all biodiesels to make them allowed to be sold in the United States. And the REG 9000 actually meets and exceeds all of the standards under ASTM D6751. So they're actually doing the best that they can do for their product. Um, their revenue line currently, or from 2008 to 2009, it increased 69% over 1 year, up from 76 million to 128.5 million, just from biodiesels alone. Their service side of things, it wasn't looking too hot. In 2008, they made $9.4 million, and then in 2009, they only made $3 million from their services industry. Their services industry isn't too prominent. What they do is they do construction or facility building for some of their partners, and the money that they charge is actually the revenues that they make. The combination between these two increases their revenues from 85.5 million in 2008 up to 131.5 million in 2009, and that's a growth of 153.8%. Their expenses kind of grew at almost the exact same rate as their revenues. In 2008, they had 39.4 million just for the production of biodiesels, which didn't include the expansion. The expenses for the expansion were another 39.3 million. So between those two, just for the production of biodiesel, just for all their expenses in 2008 uh, was 78.7 million, and then their expenses for 2009 were 124 or 127.4 million. So their expenses between 2008 and 2009 increased 154.6%. So if you compare that to their revenues, which grew 153.8%, they're pretty much consistent all the way across the board. Their organization is relatively or is very integrated amongst itself. So they control pretty much all their processes required to produce biodiesel. They're in charge of acquiring, but not producing their feedstock. So they just find suppliers for that. They're in charge of managing the construction for all of the construction and operation for all of their factories and refineries. They have to manage all their marketing and sales as well as their distribution of their product. Um, Being fully integrated and this much vertical integration uh, provides them with like much greater command throughout the entire company, and it can lower costs. It makes it easier to improve quality and increase quantity so that more so than their competitors can, just because their competitors don't have as much control over their own business as REG does. This integration also makes it easier for them to control internal operations, which makes them more attractive to potential partners. People would want to partner with them if or people want to partner with them because they have more control and it's easier for them to change to kind of help out their partners. The top management team consists of the president and CEO, like I was mentioning before, Daniel J.O. He's led a wide range of different types of companies. Before he was at REG, he was the vice president at ABG, which is a consulting firm for the agricultural industry. He also worked in the financing and investing section of Eli Lilly, which is an information and consulting business for healthcare professionals and patients. He has his MBA with concentrations in finance, accounting, and strategic management from the University of Chicago. Next, I'll move on to the Vice President of Manufacturing, Brad Albin. He has more than 25 years of experience in the manufacturing side with commercial facilities and stuff like that. Or that commercial facilities that focus on biodiesel production, chemical production, and automotive supply. So pretty much everything on a larger scale he's used to for production. He used to be a member of the NBAC, the National Biodiesel Accreditation Committee. They played a key role, or he played a key role in making the specifications for the minimum requirements that I was talking before, the ASTM D6751, the quality standards. He actually helped decide the quality that biodiesels needed to be sold in the United States. And lastly, I will talk about Eric Bowen. He's the Vice President of the Corporate Business Development and Legal Affairs. He has just over 10 years of experience in the legal side of things. Prior to REG, he used to run his own biodiesel firm, which was called Tellurian Biodiesel, and they made their own biodiesels, and he's pretty much in charge of just making sure Renewable Energy Group is in line with all legal regulations implemented by the government. If they do expand internationally, he will probably be in charge of making sure that they're in coherence with all like international laws and stuff like that. They'll probably hire some more help just because that's a lot of work to do for one person, but that's what he's in charge of. The reason why I would be a good investment for this company is because I'm educated in entrepreneurship and I'm currently gaining experience as a manager. Because this company is expanding and opening new facilities, I feel they'd be able to use me to manage the new factories and stuff. With the courses that I've taken, I believe I'd be able to motivate the staff and implement new procedures at the new refinery to make them more efficient and productive. I've actually um, taken employee management, and in that class we went over how to motivate people, how to divide them up into groups that will be effective, and stuff along those lines. Once I gain enough experience and knowledge within the business, I believe that I'll be able to, if I'm working with the right team, I believe that we'll be able to like change either the location of some of the equipment, or even just change some of the processes a little bit to make them more efficient. Um, Another thing about me being why I'd be a good employee at this company is because if I did make any improvements that helped out the company as a whole, they because it is a integrated platform, it's very vertical and it makes it easy to transfer best practices from one facility to the next. Any improvements that I make, they'd be easily transferred over to other facilities as well. Um, so hiring me wouldn't only benefit the new refineries that they open, but they would also benefit refineries that have already been opened. And that's gonna wrap it up.